We are here at Adventure Science Center. We do live science shows, we have a planetarium, we do hands-on activities. So we know that families have been at home or kind of cooped up the last few days here in Nashville, and so we thought that we would share some fun science experiments that you can do at home with everyday objects that should already be laying around. This experiment is a classic acid-base reaction using chemicals that you surely already have in your kitchen. We're going to be using this liquid that's called acetic acid. A very common name for acetic acid is vinegar. And then the solid that we have, this white powder, this is sodium bicarbonate. A very common name for sodium bicarbonate is baking soda. My friend Kaylee here is gonna pick up the baking soda and she's gonna slowly start adding it into the vinegar. Now already with just a little bit of mixture, we can see a chemical reaction. When acids and bases mix together, they release a gas called carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what makes your soda or your sparkling water really fizzy and gives it those bubbles. Science at home can be really fun. It can be a little messy sometimes. So the kitchen sink or kitchen table would be a good place to do an experiment like this. Now, if you've done a baking soda and vinegar reaction before and have seen that volcano, it's really fun. But here's a way that you can elevate this demonstration. This time, my baking soda is inside of this balloon. So any balloon will do. If you don't have glassware like this at home, you can just use a water bottle, and a balloon fits really nicely over the top of a water bottle as well. I think if you just tip that baking soda into the vinegar, we should see the same kind of reaction. So let's see what happens. Whoa, okay. This time the reaction is still happening, but that carbon dioxide, as it's being released, has filled up our balloon. The gas is just carbon dioxide, so it is safe to be in your environment, and then you're just left with a little bit of vinegar and a little bit of baking soda left, which is quite easy to clean up when you're done. But carbon dioxide is a heavy gas, so it falls down quite quickly down to the ground. This experiment is one that you definitely need your grown-ups' permission and help to experiment with. We have a chemical inside of this beaker called acetone. Now, if you don't have pure acetone, you can try it with fingernail polish remover. So again, ask your grown-up if they have that. Now, what's going to happen is we are going to put one of these polystyrene cups into the acetone and observe what happens. So just a second ago, we saw a whole cup and now it's seemingly gone. Polystyrene is semi-soluble in acetone. Now you might not have polystyrene cups at home, but any styrofoam would do. Polystyrene is mostly filled with air. So when we put the polystyrene into the acetone, all of the air pockets pop and we're left with just the polymer left over in the container. This experiment is very, very easy to do at home because it's going to take everything that is just right in your kitchen. You can use a plate or a bowl and put just a shallow layer of water. Any kind of soap that you have, any kind of hand soap, does not have to be Dawn dish soap, any soap that you have. And some pepper from your pepper grinder. I'm going to sprinkle some of this pepper into the water. Pretty densely concentrated in the middle of the tray. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of soap on the top of my pencil. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that soapy pencil right into the middle of the pepper and see what happens. Whoa. The pepper repelled. It very, very quickly moved to the perimeters of that tray. And that's because we broke the surface tension. And so this is a fun experiment to do and then reset it and do it again. But once you do it once and that surface tension is broken, you can't redo it on the same tray. So this one, you could try it with different spices. You could try it with different kinds of soap. You could try it with hot water and cold water to measure the difference to see how fast those spices repel. I think that you'll see with these experiments today that science is all around us, even with everyday objects that are in your kitchen or maybe in your bathroom or in your playroom. And so it's important to be able to understand science and what's happening when things react with one another because it's all around us all the time.